Having to go outside to turn on the hot water heater can sometimes be no fun. I always wondered why the designers put the electrical switch for the hot water heater on the outside of the RV. Well, if you've ever accidentally turned on the hot water switch when the tank was empty, thereby burning out the heating element, then maybe that will explain things. Of course, I've done this twice. Maybe the designers put the switch on the outside of the RV to avoid someone accidentally flipping the switch on from inside the cabin. I still want the switch inside the cabin, and it's important to me to get a switch that would not accidentally get flipped on. I started searching, and I don't know about you guys, but I have always wanted one of these switches. I see these in movies all the time, you know, just when the hero is about to shoot down an enemy plane, or when the villain is about to launch a doomsday missile. Well, now's my big chance to have one of these switches for my very own. Since this switch will be inside the cabin, I wanted to make sure that the switch only gets turned on intentionally and not accidentally. That's what the red cover is for. Whichever switch you like, make sure that the switch is rated for a 110 volt 15 amp circuit or whatever your rig is rated for. You guys think I know what I'm doing, but I kind of figure things out as I go. Once I start taking things apart, it's like a one-way journey of learning is taking place. Okay, so first turn off the 15 amp breaker. Fortunately, mine was clearly labeled. Then remove the decking that supports the bed. So now it's time to check out what is going on behind this on-off switch. So using a mini crowbar, I gently pried the switch out, and I could see that there were wires back there leading to the switch. Kind of like your house's on-off switches on your light switch, 2 black wires. Connected via paddle connectors, easily removed, so I removed the wires from the switch. Gently pushed them back through the opening. And then from inside the cabin, you can just kind of look inside there, use a screwdriver, and pull the wires through. Now you have to remember you're dealing with like household electricity here. So what that meant for me was I wanted to put the switch into a proper junction box, and I used 12 gauge wire to handle the 15 amp load. Making terminal connections were pretty easy. Paddle connectors on one end to connect to the wires that went to the old water heater switch. And on the other side, I just used some U connectors to connect the wires to the terminals on the back of the switch. Okay, so here's a picture of the entire run from the switch, the wires, which are black, all the way back to where they connected to the wires for the old switch. Okay, moment of truth. First, turn the breaker back on, then turn on your brand new hot water heater switch. Wait about 20 minutes, go to a faucet, turn on the hot water, and see if it's hot. Eureka! It worked! First try! Just a couple more cleanup items. I put the old switch back in the opening on the water heater. You never know, I might change my mind later and go back to that old switch, or maybe somebody will buy my trailer who has kids and wants the switch back on the outside. You never know, so I just put the switch back there. Woohoo! So the water heater switch turned out great. Just a couple of little changes at the end I wanted to show you. One is I put a hinge on the platform here, both sides, so you don't have to take up this whole piece of plywood in order to get underneath. See that? Pretty cool. That worked out well. So, and then the water heater, of course, is on this side. There it is. So much easier to get now into these spaces without having to take this whole plywood off. Okay, so there's one more critical change that I needed to make to complete this project, and I'll show it to you right now. All right, that's it. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.